Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we are going to be looking at Bitcoin and its price action to the upside. It is up 6.5% today. Um, it is also Monday. It is also the start of the week. It also is. It also is March 1st. So there's a lot of things to look at now to recap of the week, the month, and what's going on for today. Let's start with the latter. So let's move on to the daily, and we see that Bitcoin is up 6.5%, coming back up to $48,000 from a low opening of 45 to 61. We are now approaching again the 20-day moving average, and time will see. This is not really that important, but we'll see if Bitcoin can break the 20-day moving average. We see that it has broken through, and we're here again retesting it. We can test the 20-day moving average like we saw here. Sorry, here, and it failed to break on that day, but a few days later it did eventually break. So that's something to take note of. Moving on to the week of Bitcoin. Bitcoin lost 21% of its valuation last week. So right now it seems that 57,000, uh, yeah, 57,000 or so, was the local top for now for Bitcoin. And here we are just trying to catch back up to the gains, albeit it seems like we are on an incredible run, and a retracement back down isn't something to be surprised about considering the run that we were on. And there are many arguments to be made that the market is currently overextended. However, it could stay like this, for a long time, to like long enough for people to forget that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies actually go down. So take that into consideration. Right now, the distance to the moving average, to the price is about 62%. We actually closed about the same spot, about 62% last week when we closed to 40, uh, $43,000 or so. But you might be asking, why is the percentage the same? Well, because Bitcoin is up today. Well, the moving average is going up. The trend is going up. It's being replaced by these lower valuations, lower valuated candles are being replaced by higher ones, causing the price to still continue to go up. With that said, it just so happens that we're back at 62%. So we're not, terribly overextended now above the 20-week moving average, which is great. But at the same time, there is still some decent distance between the price and the moving average, um, which means things are still relatively bullish. And as long as things are relatively bullish, altcoins will fare fine. We see that Ethereum's recovering 8%. Same thing with Chainlink. Uniswap is up 7% against the US dollar. There's only certain sects of altcoins though right now that are outpacing Bitcoin. So VeChain is one up 5.5%. Ethereum's up 1.32, and Chainlink's up 1. But as long as one of the factors to determine if altcoins are going to fare well is a bullish Bitcoin, but not too bullish, right? It's the Goldilocks effect, I think. As long Bitcoin is still up 61% above the 20-week moving average, that is one factor to maintain uh, uh, bullishness in altcoins. If Bitcoin decided to kick the bucket and head back down to the 20-week moving average, it's a different story. But for now, we're in bullish territory, and things are looking good. Things are still looking good, I should say. Moving on to the monthly. So the monthly right now, I mean that red weekly candle, you don't even see what weekly, what red candle. We're now going into our sixth green candle. Okay, we finished February, which Bitcoin gained a valuation of 36.5%, giving Bitcoin one, two, three, four, five green monthly candles, and when's the last time you saw five green monthly candles? Well, probably it's going to be this move right here in 2019, as I think that was the last time. And the time before that was in 2017, starting in April. One, two, three, four, five. We saw five green monthly candles. Here we are on our sixth. So we ever seen a six streak? Six green monthly candles. One, two, three, four, five, six. Last time was in 2012, I believe. Yeah, probably. Anyway, long like regardless, it's been a long time since Bitcoin has moved up like this in 5 months. Okay, so keep that in mind for everybody. You know, five monthly candles is great. Doesn't happen a lot. We might expect a downturn from Bitcoin in March, but you know, there's a lot of arguments to say, you know, if Bitcoin's going to trend down. If it isn't, according to the monthly, it's still chugging along just fine. Um, but that's essentially what we see with the monthly. The RSI on the monthly, great question. It is 89.65. 89.65 on the RSI. We know that around the high 90s, mid to high 90s is when we see uh, 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 a a top, whether it could be the global top or it could be a local top. So every time Bitcoin gets to that level, we see a peak on the RSI, like what we see here, and then a recovery with another larger dollar peak, but roughly the same RSI peak. We saw it here as well on the month of August. We saw a peak, retraced, recovered, made another global dollar peak, but roughly the same RSI peak. Here we are at 89.64. We're still a ways away. Remember, these are monthly candles, so this takes months to produce a top like this, let alone years if you're talking from the bottom. So um, we are at 89.64. I believe it went to like 91 at some point during the month of February, but obviously we've retraced, and here we are at 89.64. There's still room for the top, but it's always important to keep an eye on it to see where we are, because I think this is one indicator that I'll be taking a very close look at once Bitcoin starts producing like and starts entering in the 90s territory consistently on the monthly chart. So say March is another great month for Bitcoin. We finally get over the hump of 90, and following that month in April we're still at 90, then you know that's when you really got to keep an eye on it to see how the RSI is being marked down on the monthly, I think at that point. But that's essentially with Bitcoin. I mean, with dominance, uh, we were talking about the 140-week moving average. Let me flip it to the weekly here. We were talking about this. I talked about this yesterday. I said that we were below the 140-week moving average. We came above it, but here we are. We closed and we opened below it. So this is interesting. This can still play. If we're able to close the week below the 140-week moving average, this could also indicate another run from altcoins. And you know, just by looking at today, that seems to be the case. We see altcoins waking up. Uh, Cardano's cooling off, but we see other large cap coins like Ethereum starting to produce numbers and starting to outpace Bitcoin again. But this is only one day. We still there's 6 more days left in the week. A lot can happen within the week, so don't get too caught up with today's price of up 1.39% against Bitcoin and up 8% against the US dollar. Ethereum is still at 1530 when it was at a high of $2,000. $2,100 to be in fact. So I'm still of a proponent that there's still a lot of room to grow for altcoins, despite the moves of January. considering where Bitcoin is right now at $48,000, at $57,000, even at 48, 45, I think Ethereum has a lot more room to grow to match that dollar value against Bitcoin. And that is something that I'm patiently waiting for, and we'll see if it happens. But that's pretty much it for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.